Last week, TSA agents threw a $600 smart suitcase straight into the trash. The owner just stood there, speechless. He had no idea he'd done anything wrong. If you've flown recently, you know something's changed. And if you want to avoid losing hundreds, maybe thousands, of dollars at security, hit that like button and subscribe right now because what I'm about to show you could save your next trip. Here's what's happening at airports across America. The TSA has completely revolutionized their screening technology. These new computed tomography scanners, the same medical-grade technology hospitals use, are now analyzing every single item in your luggage with surgical precision. Combined with AI algorithms that never sleep and never let anything slide, these machines are catching things that would have sailed through security just 2 years ago. And here's what nobody's talking about. This isn't about new regulations. The rules themselves haven't really changed. What's changed is the enforcement. The technology has eliminated the gray area, the human error, the maybe they won't notice factor. If you're carrying something questionable, you will get stopped. Period. The result? Travelers are getting blindsided. Frequent flyers who've packed the same way for years are suddenly being pulled aside. Items that seemed perfectly innocent are triggering alarms. Confiscations are skyrocketing. We're talking about everyday electronics and grooming tools ending up in disposal bins while their owners stand there in shock, sometimes missing their flights. So today, we're diving into the 10 electronic items most likely to get confiscated in 2026. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Because knowledge is the only thing standing between you and a very expensive, very frustrating day at the airport. Number 10. Rechargeable plasma lighters. Let's start with something that might seem harmless but is causing major headaches at checkpoints nationwide. Rechargeable plasma lighters. You've probably seen these advertised online. Sleek, windproof, marketed as the modern alternative to traditional lighters. They create this cool electric arc instead of a flame. Here's the problem. While your standard disposable Bic lighter is usually fine and carry on, these electric arc lighters exist in a regulatory gray zone. The FAA's concern is legitimate. These devices pack lithium-ion batteries and are specifically engineered to generate extreme heat. That combination makes security officers nervous. The official word is murky. The TSA website technically allows them in carry-on if protected from accidental activation. But the final decision always rests with the individual officer at your checkpoint. And in practice, these things are confiscation magnets. I've heard from travelers who sailed through security in Chicago only to have the exact same lighter confiscated in Denver 3 days later. The inconsistency is maddening. Some officers wave them through, others see them as fire hazards and immediately remove them. With 2026's heightened scrutiny on anything battery-powered and heat-generating, the odds aren't in your favor. My advice? Don't even take the gamble. A $2 disposable lighter will do the exact same job without risking your travel plans. Save the fancy gadgets for home. Number 9. Spy cameras and covert recording devices. Now, we're getting into territory that really raises eyebrows. I'm talking about any device designed to look like one thing but secretly function as a camera or recorder. Pen cameras, USB chargers with hidden lenses, alarm clocks that double as surveillance equipment. Let me be clear, there's no blanket TSA regulation banning these items. But those CT scanners are built to detect anomalies. And a device that appears to be a pen but has camera components, circuit boards, and wiring inside? That's the definition of an anomaly. When these scanners flag something unusual, it triggers automatic secondary inspection. Your bag gets pulled. An officer examines the item closely. You'll need to explain exactly what it is, why you have it, and what you plan to do with it. If your explanation doesn't satisfy them, or if the device looks modified or homemade, that officer has complete authority to confiscate it on the spot. TSA agents are trained to identify disguised threats. That's literally their job. And a camera hidden inside something that isn't supposed to be a camera. That ticks every box on their threat assessment checklist. Unless you have a compelling professional reason to travel with covert recording equipment, leave it at home. And if you must bring it, be prepared to declare it openly and explain it calmly. Walking into security hoping they won't notice is a recipe for missing your flight. Number 8. Drones and their batteries. Drones have exploded in popularity. Everyone wants those stunning aerial vacation shots. But bringing your drone on a flight requires careful planning, or you risk losing expensive equipment. Technically, the TSA permits drones in both carry-on and checked baggage. But checking it is a terrible idea. The issue comes down to batteries. Those spare lithium-ion drone batteries? Completely prohibited in checked luggage. 0 exceptions. If you accidentally pack them in your suitcase, they can be removed and confiscated, and you might not know until you open your bag at your destination. Even in carry-on, you're not out of the woods. If your drone batteries are oversized, improperly labeled, appear modified, or don't clearly display their watt-hour ratings, officers won't hesitate to remove them. Professional-grade batteries exceeding 160 watt-hours banned entirely. Sketchy third-party batteries with no visible specifications, straight to the confiscation bin. And there's another layer. Drones themselves attract scrutiny beyond just the batteries. A drone without proper registration, with obvious DIY modifications or sporting exposed wiring can quickly transform from cool photography equipment to suspicious electronic device in an officer's eyes. International travel adds more complications. Some countries require special permits for drones. Others ban them outright. You could legally bring your drone on the plane in the US only to have it confiscated upon arrival abroad. The smart play: always pack your drone in carry-on. Ensure all batteries are properly labeled with watt-hour ratings clearly visible. Keep everything in protective cases. Have your registration documentation accessible. And research the drone laws at your destination before packing. Number 7. Electric toothbrushes. I know what you're thinking. An electric toothbrush? Really? But this one's becoming increasingly common. The TSA absolutely allows electric toothbrushes. That's not the issue. The issue is what those high-powered CT scanners see: a dense, cylindrical object containing a motor, wiring, and a lithium-ion battery. If that image isn't immediately clear to the scanner's AI, it gets flagged for inspection. 2 main problems arise. First, accidental activation. If your toothbrush starts vibrating inside your bag while going through the scanner, you've got an officer seeing both a suspicious image on screen and hearing mysterious buzzing. That's an instant red flag that can result in confiscation. Second, condition matters. Is your toothbrush cracked, held together with tape, showing corrosion around the charging port? Does it look modified? From a TSA officer's perspective, anything resembling a homemade electronic device with a battery isn't worth the argument. If they're not 100% comfortable with it, they have authority to keep it. Protecting your toothbrush is simple. Use a hard protective travel case that covers the power button, preventing accidental activation. Pack it somewhere it won't get crushed. And please, don't bring that 10-year-old toothbrush that looks like it's been repaired with electrical tape. Clean, intact, and obviously normal-looking is your goal. Number 6. Electric razors and beard trimmers. For years, electric razors were a non-issue. Travelers packed them without a second thought. But the new CT scanner era has changed that significantly. These scanners lock onto anything containing a dense internal battery, wiring, and a motor. Older razors, off-brand models, or devices with damaged casings appear suspicious on scans. When that happens, your bag gets pulled for physical inspection. Most of the time, if it obviously looks like a standard electric razor and appears to function properly, you'll get it back after the officer examines it. But here's where it gets dicey. If the casing is cracked, the battery appears swollen, there are exposed wires, or the officer simply can't confidently identify it as safe, they're trained to err on the side of caution. And that means confiscation. The solution isn't complicated. Travel with name-brand razors in good condition. Keep them in protective cases to prevent damage. Make sure the battery compartment is intact and there's no visible wear that might trigger concern. Basically, if your razor looks like it might fall apart or if it's been jerry-rigged with repairs, leave it home and bring a disposable. Number 5. Vapes and e-cigarettes. For the millions of people who vape, listen carefully. The rules here are absolutely ironclad, and violations are taken extremely seriously. You cannot, under any circumstances, pack a vape, e-cigarette, or any electronic smoking device in checked luggage. Ever. This is a zero-tolerance policy with no exceptions. These devices must be in your carry-on or on your person. Period. The reason is straightforward. Fire risk from lithium-ion batteries. There have been documented incidents of vaping devices igniting in cargo holds, creating dangerous situations. The FAA doesn't mess around with this. When packing in carry-on, you're required to prevent accidental activation. Turn the device completely off. Better yet, remove the battery if possible. Some travelers put them in protective cases with the button area secured. Your vape liquids fall under the standard 3-to-1-1 rule. Containers of 3.4 ounces or less, all fitting in a single quart-sized clear bag. Here's something many travelers don't realize. While TSA allows vapes in carry-on, international rules vary wildly. Some countries have strict restrictions. Others ban vaping devices entirely. You could legally bring your vape on the plane in the US and then have it confiscated upon arrival abroad. If a vape is discovered in your checked bag, it will be removed. If your device looks damaged, modified, or tampered with, expect it to be confiscated. And you're definitely not getting it back. Number 4. Cordless hair styling tools. This one catches people off guard constantly. That convenient cordless curling iron or flat iron you love for travel? It's increasingly ending up in confiscation bins. There are 2 types to worry about. First, devices with lithium-ion batteries. Like other electronics, these are safer in carry-on, but you must ensure they can't accidentally turn on. If the device has a safety lock, use it. If it doesn't, and an officer thinks it could activate and heat up inside your bag, they can remove it. The second type is trickier: butane or gas-powered styling tools. The regulations here are confusing even to experienced travelers. The TSA technically allows one butane-powered device in carry-on only, but it must have a safety cover over the heating element. You cannot bring spare gas cartridges, but here's where it gets frustrating. Enforcement is wildly inconsistent. Some airlines ban these devices completely, regardless of TSA rules. One traveler reported having her butane curling iron confiscated simply because the officer wasn't certain of the policy. To avoid this headache entirely, consider traveling with traditional corded styling tools. Or, if you prefer cordless, stick with lithium-ion versions, pack them carefully in carry-on with safety features engaged, and be prepared to explain them if questioned. Number 3. Loose spare lithium batteries. Photographers, drone operators, videographers, basically anyone serious about tech, this one's for you. You probably carry spare lithium batteries for your equipment. And while preparation is smart, improper packing can create major problems. First, the non-negotiable rule. All spare lithium batteries are banned from checked baggage. This is a critical safety regulation. The risk of short circuits is exponentially higher when batteries are loose in the cargo hold. If those metal terminals contact another metal object, it completes a circuit, generates heat, and can start a fire. So, spare batteries must be in carry-on. But it doesn't end there. You also need to protect the terminals to prevent short circuits. Keep batteries in their original retail packaging when possible. If that's not available, tape over the terminals with electrical or duct tape. Or place each battery in its own plastic bag or protective case. The new CT scanners excel at identifying the chemical signature of lithium batteries. If they detect unprotected batteries in your bag, that triggers automatic inspection. If they're in checked luggage, they're getting confiscated, and you might not discover this until you open your suitcase at your destination and find a TSA notice. Pro tip: invest in proper battery storage cases. They're inexpensive, prevent damage, and demonstrate to TSA that you're taking safety seriously. Number 2. High-capacity and unlabeled power banks. Power banks are travel essentials nowadays, but not all power banks are created equal, and in 2026, those scanners are flagging problematic ones with brutal efficiency. The rules center on capacity, measured in watt-hours. Here's what you need to know. Power banks under 100 watts are generally fine in carry-on. But remember, all power banks are strictly forbidden in checked luggage. They must be in carry-on. Always. For larger power banks between 101 and 160 W, you need airline approval before flying. Anything over 160 watt is completely banned from all passenger flights. The problem? Most people have no idea what their power bank's watt-hour rating is. That small 20,000 mAh power bank you use for your phone? Probably safe, but larger models designed for laptops can easily exceed the 100 W threshold. The second critical issue: labeling. If a TSA officer cannot clearly read the watt-hour rating on your power bank, they are trained to confiscate it immediately. No label visible, no flight. They can't verify it's safe, so they won't risk it. Always buy power banks from reputable brands that clearly print specifications. If the label has worn off over time, print a replacement label with the specs and tape it securely to the device. It sounds tedious, but it could save you from losing a 100+ power bank. And I can't stress this enough. Never, ever pack power banks in checked luggage. It's not just against regulations, it's genuinely dangerous. Number 1. Smart luggage. And here we are at number 1, the most expensive and heartbreaking confiscation you can experience. Smart luggage. These high-tech suitcases with built-in charging ports, GPS tracking, and digital locks seemed like the future of travel. For many people, they represented a significant investment. $300, $400, sometimes $500 or more. And they're being left behind at check-in counters across the country. The reason is non-negotiable and crystal clear: fire risk. The FAA and TSA have established a black and white rule. Any smart luggage with a non-removable lithium-ion battery is banned. Completely. It cannot go in the cargo hold. It cannot be carried on. If the battery cannot be removed, the bag cannot fly. Why such a strict policy? Because lithium-ion batteries can experience thermal runaway, a dangerous condition where the battery overheats and catches fire. If this happens in the cargo hold mid-flight, the crew cannot access it to extinguish the flames. The potential for catastrophe is real. The stories are devastating. Travelers showing up for their dream vacation only to be told their brand new suitcase can't board the plane. One passenger had to abandon her $400 bag because the battery required a screwdriver to remove, and she was minutes from missing her flight. TSA doesn't budge on this. There is zero flexibility. The fix is simple but requires action before you reach the airport. Check your smart luggage now. The battery must be removable without tools. You should be able to pop it out with just your hands. If you can do that, remove it before checking the bag and carry the battery with you in the cabin. If you can't remove it without tools, don't bring the suitcase. Period. Don't assume. Don't guess. Don't hope for the best. Verify before you pack or risk losing an expensive piece of luggage before your trip even begins. The bottom line, airport security in 2026 operates at a level of precision we've never seen before. The technology has eliminated the inconsistency, the lucky breaks, the times when things slipped through. If you're carrying something that violates regulations, even unknowingly, you will get stopped. But here's the good news. You now know exactly what to watch out for. Take 15 minutes before your next trip to check your electronics. Verify battery ratings. Ensure proper labeling. Pack strategically. These small steps can save you hundreds of dollars and hours of frustration. The key takeaways? Pay attention to anything with lithium-ion batteries. Confirm your smart luggage has a removable battery. Know the watt-hour ratings on your power banks and make sure they're clearly labeled. Always pack spare batteries and vapes in carry-on, never checked. And understand that even innocent items like electric toothbrushes can cause delays if they're damaged or poorly maintained. Flying doesn't have to be a nightmare. Being informed and prepared transforms you from a potential confiscation statistic into a smooth, stress-free traveler. A few minutes of preparation at home eliminates massive headaches at the airport. If you found this guide valuable, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss crucial travel updates like this. And drop a comment below. Have you ever had something confiscated by TSA? What was it, and what did you learn? Your experience could save another traveler from making the same mistake. Safe travels out there. Be prepared, stay informed, and keep your expensive electronics where they belong, with you.